Welcome, wonderful people, to Shero's Reflections. In this episode, I want to talk about something that has actually intrigued the nation. And this happened on the Obinna show when Stevewamassage stated categorically that he does not like children. Actually, that's a soft word, eh? He stated categorically that he hates children. And Obinna tried to engage him, telling him that's a strong word and etc. And go and watch the show there. Again, Samuel slept on it. And the next day, he released yet another video saying that he actually hates children and that he used that word and not by mistake. Now note, the previous day, people tried to convince him to say this, to say that, but the next day, after he had slept on it, he still was of the same opinion. And you know, usually when you convince somebody to change their mind, usually they're still left of the same opinion. They just listen to you, let you talk, but inside, they still have the same opinion. And as Sheroes, I think we can take a lot from that. We can learn a lot. Let us stop forcing people to say what we want to hear. Let us start listening to what people are saying. When somebody tells you this is their position, then that is their position. Why try and change his position? And especially if that position does not affect you or is not actually dangerous. It's just a position that he has. He said he respects people with children. Children are okay for as long as they're not near him, and he does not want children. And that's his position. And this set me thinking, you know, there might be just a Shero out there who may just be thinking that she can change Samuel's mind. And let's not even use Samuel. Let's use somebody else. You are in a relationship, or you know someone, and you want to take things further, and he states categorically that that's not for him. And in fact, many men will tell you, I do not want to get married, you know? You better take that as truth. Don't think that you're going to change his mind. As Samuel said, unless something happens, you know, unless maybe God touches his heart, those are his words, that is actually his position right now. And so let us start listening. When he says he does not want marriage, then listen, because that is actually his position now with you, unless something actually changes. And for that something to change, it may even need to take the hand of God, you know? And again, that same series we were talking about the other day, Virgin River, this guy had this girl that he was actually hooking up with on the regular, but he was very, very clear that this is all we are doing. Until, of course, somebody else turned up, the nurse came to Virgin River, and all of a sudden, he now wanted marriage. In fact, he was really pushing that girl. Can we set a date? Can we get married? And etc. But remember, there was another lady in the picture, but as far as that lady was concerned, his position was that he does not want anything serious and he does not want marriage. And I say this without any fear of contradiction, because if you are a Shero and you've been on this world long enough, you know of these relationships either involving you or involving other people, relationships that go on for 10 years and no marriage happens or no marriage takes place. And then this significant other meets somebody and within 3 months, they are married, tied the knot happily, you know, forgetting the other relationship that had gone on for so long. And so when I heard Samuel, I thought to myself, could these people have been communicating to their long-standing girlfriends that this is just what it is? It's not going anywhere. But you are there hoping and trying to move the position that this particular man has taken. And of course, we're not going to talk about the heartbreaks. We're not going to condemn anybody. But those are things that actually happen. So when somebody gives you their position, please let us be able to accept that position and let us move on. But then this story reminded me about The Godfather. Now, The Godfather is a movie. I was actually surprised. It's a movie of the 70s, but still very relevant. Because, you know, things that touch on life are always relevant. Whichever culture you go, wherever you are, these things are almost standard. And so the hero of this movie, or this book, depends. I must confess, I've actually read the book and I've also watched the movie. Severally, in fact. I like to read The Godfather at least once a year. And in the book, the main character, Michael Corleone, he was in America doing criminal activities, so maybe that's not a good example, but it is relevant in this context. It's a fictional character. It's based on the mafia and etc. And he had this girl and life was going on and was involved in all these criminal activities until he killed some people and he needed to go, as they say, to the matrices. In other words, to hide from law enforcement. And so he arrived in Sicily, in Italy, and he was minding his life, whiling his time away, moving from hither to thither without really anything that he was doing, because remember, he's actually hiding. So he can't exactly go and start a business, he can't exactly go and do things. And so that he was just minding his business, taking his walks with his bodyguards, until one day he was struck by the thunderbolt. By the thunderbolt. As he was walking, he saw this girl and his world changed. Just the mere fact that he met that girl, his world changed. The girl was in the company of other people. He did not get to be able to speak to the girl, but that girl stuck in his head and he wanted that girl. He wanted to possess that girl. Nothing else mattered until he could get that girl in his life, start a family, and etc. And so he took a lot of trouble trying to find out whose daughter he is and everything. And he was introduced to the parents, and well, the parents were not exactly excited because he's a criminal, but they acquiesced and they gave him the girl in marriage and etc. Now, my point is, that girl was called Apollonia. Michael Corleone was hit by the thunderbolts in the book because he met Apollonia. And to Samuel, I say, maybe you don't want children because, as you say, God has not touched your heart yet. But I pray to God that he has an Apollonia for you. That there will be that one that you will meet and she will actually change your life. And to all the other Sheroes, let us stop trying to change Samuel's mind when you can be an Apollonia to Michael Corleone. So stop focusing all your attentions on this man, or rather on this significant other, who is in your life but is not moving it forward. Walk around, do things, go to school, do your work, mingle with people, and hope that you're going to strike a Michael with your thunderbolt. And so as a sign up, I wish you all an Apollonia moment.